All right, what we have today, folks, is a little restoration project that I'm working on. I haven't seen what this looks like yet, so we're gonna see it together. This is a little tub of Evaporust. Inside of it is a hatchet, hatchet head, or actually a Tomahawk head that I found metal detecting. It is a reproduction. It looks like so. Actually, I'm really curious. I want to see what it looks like here. It was really rusty when I put it into the Evaporust. This is you can see the broad arrow there. As I mentioned, it's a reproduction of a trade hatchet or a tomahawk that I found at a reenactment site with a metal detector. So not as old as it looks, perhaps, but I wanted to get it cleaned up and practice restoration or something like this. So yeah, this is a Evaporust. Took out all the rust that was on here. There was, yeah, I'll post some pictures here in a moment, but yeah, there was some flash rust after I pulled it out of the ground. So the whole thing was orange and rusty. You can see a little bit of loose flakes here, so maybe it's not quite ready. Try and clean this off and give it a good look here. See if we need to put it back in for a while. But definitely things have been working here. This stuff starts out as a sort of an apple juice sort of color, yellowy, and not so black. So yeah, so that's been doing something at least. Pull this up out of the way. Rinse this off good. See what we have underneath. So yeah, the tip looks a little chipped. A lot of stuff flaking off of there. This Evaporust is non-toxic, safe to rinse down. At least they claim it's safe to rinse down the drain and everything. So not too worried about that. And as I mentioned, this is a reproduction, so maybe the quality is not so great. So I'm just going to take it the way it is, I think, because I don't know that putting it back in the Evaporust any longer is going to do any good. This part's just rusted and gone, and it's just the way it is. So all right, so I'll get this rinsed off good. I have a handle that I'm working on, and when I found it did have a leather sheath. I'm going to try and take that sheath and also, kind of clean it up and get it back in working order or recreate it. But it looks like it's in good shape, so I might be able to use it. So here we go. Rinsed off good. One last look, and then I'll get this dried off. I'm going to put it in the grill outside for a couple hours to get it good and dry. And I have a coating that I'm going to put on to keep it from rusting anymore. So there we go. Stay tuned. All right, after a couple hours in the grill, everything's dried out good, cool to the touch. And this is what it looks like afterwards. You can definitely see that there are some pits that resulted as this is laying in the dirt and moisture outside. But I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. So this is some stuff on the side here I'm going to brush on. It's called Gempler's rust converter. So just a coating to try and keep that rust away. So I'm going to put a couple coats of this on here. It takes about 20 minutes to dry. You can see it's kind of white here when it goes on, and it'll dry black. So it should keep this from getting too gross. And I'll come back. Don't mind the dog. Decided he needed a drink. But yeah, so flip it to the other side. Put a coat here. And make sure we get a coating on here all around. And then we'll come back in about 20 minutes, put a second coat on, and make sure everything's covered up good so we don't get any more pitting. Not sure how well these brush strokes are gonna blend in, but we'll see after it dries. All right. See you again soon. Okay, so here's the final product. After the Gemblers, you can see, don't really see any brush strokes or anything on here. You can see the broad arrow insignia is really showing up now. All of the pitting, so definitely this is reproduction. You can see the seam here from casting, but you know, it's for show. After going through this process and getting a closer look at this, I don't think I'll actually try and use it as a hatchet. That was my original plan, was to clean it up and use it at camp, but that's that. So I think it did a pretty good job. The Evaporust to get rid of all the rust, and then a few coatings of Gemblers to seal it up. Next step, this did have a sheath on it. Looks like it was homemade or handmade. You can see some holes, a hole pattern here, and some old threads that are just about all gone, but you can see some remnants of the threads. Don't really know what the pattern was here, if it was just some stitching that went across and up around at this curve, or if this was sort of a pattern that went zigzag back and forth, so it made it look like more of a solid pattern. I'm not sure. If you have any ideas there, let me know. But I think I might try and just recondition this. It's in decent shape still. Maybe some mink oil or something will clean that up, make it look good. Otherwise, I do have some leather, some veg tan leather that I could try and reproduce, something like that. So there's that. The bigger concern, I think, is this handle. You can see this is where the head was originally. So that kept it out of the weather pretty well, but the rest of the handle is chewed up pretty bad from bugs and weather. So I have a piece of Jatoba that I might try. Some people have made handles from Jatoba. It's really hard to work with. So I might not, knowing that I'm not going to actually use this as a hatchet, I might not do that. I might just try and look for a branch or something and whittle it down. But for those that aren't aware, I'll just do this as an experiment or an example. You can see that the head doesn't really go on this way. It will feed in from the top, and there's no wedge in the top or anything. It's just sort of by nature of having a tapered hole in the head. You know, if I try and put it on the opposite direction, it won't go as far because that hole is tapered. So yeah, so we take it out, flip it around, put it back up this way. It goes all the way. So by nature of having a tapered hole there, it holds it in place pretty well, so when you're swinging it, it won't come off the end. So I should be able to find a branch and whittle it down, taper it at the right angle, and maybe sand it good and get it looking pretty decent. So that might be what I do. And then you can see the sheath comes on like this, and this strap did tear, so that's been lost. But I think I can replace that. Maybe I'll replace them both so that they match. But that's it. That's the final product. If you're looking for the two products I used, the Gemblers and the Evaporust, I'll leave a link in the comment or in the description on this video, and you can look them up there. So please leave your comments. Curious about your feedback on this project. If you'd like to see more like this, a couple other things that need cleaned up and refurbished. So if that's interesting to you, let me know. I'll try and get those on video. Thanks so much for watching.